Redstone Field Guide presents Redstone Basics, the Parts. Episode 6, Firing on All Cylinders. Hey guys, what's up? This is Steve here, and today I'm going to be making a video all about pistons. I know we have a lot set out here, and I have my little daylight sensor and command block duo over there working the day-night cycle, so hopefully we should be good for time. Let's get started real quick. Alright. So first of all, we have the regular piston, no sticky in this one. We have pushes blocks, doesn't pull them back, simple enough. Over here we have an example of I guess a use for it would be a one-time cutoff for a piston, right? So you have this piston, it would turn on and push the block down, and therefore prevent any signal from getting through there. Now this would of course be some third-party signal coming out of there. Now we have over here the sticky piston, which pushes blocks and pulls blocks, which is very handy in something like this. This is what Chris and I like to call a piston cutoff. Now what it does is, as it sounds, it cuts off a redstone flow. So you have this charge over here going through, right? Say you want to cut it off with this charge. You just make a piston that pushes down and it stops it from going through. Fairly simple way of storing something. Say if you have an RS NOR latch back here and you don't want it to get tripped again once it already has been, you can set a lock here, and that's pretty much how you make RAM in Minecraft. Simple RAM at least. I'm sure you can make more complex RAM that holds a lot more in a lot smaller space, but that's for another time. Over here we pretty much have an inverse of what's over there. This one, that's right, this is the one that I set up improperly. Give me 1 second, folks. While I'm doing this, we can talk though. This one is pretty much the inverse of the other one, in that the piston needs to be down in order for the charge to go through. So as you can see, we have this charge which goes up and around. Note, as you probably noticed, the charge has to be going into the block to make this a weakly powered block, as we discussed in one of our other videos. The redstone repeater is then able to pick that up and send it along its merry way. But if we have this piston removed up here, the stone block is removed, henceforth no weakly powered or strongly powered or any powered block in this vicinity, and there is no charge in the repeater. Now I have an example over here of how this might be useful. For those of you who watched our reprogrammable combination lock, this is how we did a lot of the coding, is by these two-way switches here. I think they're very cool, very useful. So what we have going on here is a switch. It's basically like how the minecart rail shifts back and forth if you put a redstone current through it. It basically does the same thing. So we have output A back here and output B up here, right? So let's see. Did I set all these up improperly? I'm really sorry, guys. So output A, right? Now it's on output B. Say we want it to go to output A. Well, it basically does what we talked about in the last two and smushes them together into one big thing, right? So output A is on now because there's a weakly powered block powering this redstone repeater, henceforth shooting the signal off. Now, if we retract the stone, there's nothing there blocking this from going down, and as you know from our Stairway to Heaven video, redstone repeaters cannot pick up current below them, so the charge simply just travels this way. Now that can be really handy if you want something like, I'm going to use the example, if you have a keyboard, right, and you have caps lock. Well, what if this letter was non-caps lock? I'm sorry, this output was non-caps lock, and this output was caps lock. And this input right here was the activation of caps lock, right? So no caps lock, caps lock. Pretty much as simple as that. I don't know any other examples off the top of my head that I can tell you, but if you don't understand, leave a comment and I'll try and explain it better. All right, over here we have piston piston clocks. Now what a piston clock does is basically it alternates the signal on and off for you to be able to use, for example, to refresh something. Let me just show you. So pretty much what this one does is a one piston block which toggles one output on and off. It can also be toggled permanently off if that is what you need. Even if there's redstone there with the switch, it can be toggled permanently off and no charge will come out of here. Now this over here is a 4-piston clock, similar to that one, except that it has 4 outputs and 4 possible inputs. Now, as you can see, it is missing a torch down here. That is simply to keep it from running in the background and wasting RAM on my computer. So let's go ahead and start it up, and I'll stop talking because you won't be able to hear me. So yeah, that's pretty much how it works. Right now I have it sort of jammed up. I'm going to remove this and remove this and that and that, and then replace these, and okay, we're good. So basically what that allows you to do is take 4 sequential pulses, I guess, if you will, and use them for something. For example, in a later video, which will be coming out hopefully later in November, Chris and I will show you our piston tapes tape reel, which is able to store up to 3 bits of data and read it back and reset it. Very cool. But this is how we power it, by pushing the 4 corners of the reel around in a circle, similar to how this block goes around, but on a much larger scale. Alright, moving on. Here we have just some handy ways to get your redstone signal down a path with pistons. Here we have a piston redstone block combination. Now what happens here is we have a button and it's inverted, so all the pistons are on and extended. This last piston is then powering an inverter which is off. You can have these inverters either way, but the cool thing about this is all of these pistons will retract at the exact same time. Watch. And then they'll extend sequentially piston to piston. This is, I think, a glitch. I'm not positive, but I think it's a glitch. But it's very useful for getting your signals across long spans of land, I guess. And it's very efficient. There is only 1 tick of delay for the piston to retract, and then for the redstone to register that it retracted. And then your signal will be right along its way. No redstone repeaters required. No longer will you have to wait 5 ticks for your pulse to travel, you know, whatever, what have you, 60 blocks or whatever the math is. So just a very useful and convenient way. Chris and I also implemented this in our combination lock. We used it to transmit the signals from the buttons on the keyboard to the actual CPU of the padlock. So that's pretty much it for this video on pistons. Hopefully we'll be having a lot more coming out soon. I just wanted to make this one sort of brief, so that there goes the time, so that you wouldn't have to sit through a 10-hour seminar on pistons. So this has probably been part 1 of several, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Thanks for watching.
If you enjoyed this video and are looking for others like it, check out our channel and subscribe. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and like and share if you found the video interesting. As always, thanks for watching, and see you on the next episode.